So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to studying a chart in a unique way. Okay? I want to show you guys some of the beauty of a birth chart. So what I want to do is this. I'm going to share this chart here. See this chart? I want you to observe this chart and write in the comments before you watch any further. Let's see how you guys do. Let me know who this individual is. What is this individual's karma? What are they about? I don't want to know their marriage timing. I don't want to know, their career promotions, nothing of that sort. I want to know the individual. So who's this individual? Okay. So of course I have the same chart here printed out free or printed out, on the paper. So as you see, this person is Saturn in the Lagna, meaning the ascendant, in Mula Nakshatra. And it aspects Moon in the 7th house. So first of all, just by looking at the Lagna, we see that Shani is sitting on the ascendant. Saturn is sitting on the ascendant. And whenever Saturn sits on the ascendant in a chart, it always brings a heavy karma where a person's going to be judged. And a person is going to be the judge. Such people become very, very critical about what other people are doing. They want to judge other people. They want to, in a way, be this judge and jury for everything that the world does and everything that they do. Okay, so let me again share this chart with you. And Mula Nakshatra is the galactic plane. That's where the black hole is, right? Now, of course, this particular ascendant is not at the Yogatara of Mula Nakshatra. But what we see is that Saturn is in Sagittarius, meaning it most definitely has some laws and principles that it wants to follow for itself. And the thing is, it becomes so consumed with those principles, with those beliefs, that this individual has kind of self-created in their life. They can even become destructive if certain rules are not followed. If they don't feel that the world is giving what they, if the world is not doing what the world should be doing, they kind of become very destructive. They want to go to the depth of things, wanting to understand the depth of things. And the thing is, this particular Saturn, because it's in the ascendant, a person experiences destruction around them. But then again, the question becomes, what kind of a destruction, right? What kind of a destruction will this person really deal with? Well, which houses does Saturn rule in this chart? It rules the 2nd house of family and 3rd house of siblings, communication. And especially the thing is, because Saturn is in Mula, in the black hole's grasp, this person will speak very less. Because when they speak, they're going to judge. When they speak, they're going to try to destroy the imperfection they see in everything around them. And most definitely this particular Saturn aspects the 10th Lord and the 7th Lord. 10th house is the house of our reputation, our status in society, our career. 7th house is marriage, relationship, the opposite people. Saturn's 3rd hand aspects Mercury. And because it's the 3rd hand of Saturn, not the 7th and 10th, it grabs the whole of Mercury. Because remember, it's the hand. The hand goes and grabs, and it grabs by the neck. That means it restrains a person's relationship and their career. And not to mention, Mercury is the significator of communication. And so this person has a hard time trying to communicate or express themselves when need to. And as I've been saying it lately, the third house is the most important house, especially nowadays. It's social media, it's your text messages, emails. Without it, you can function. But of course, this chart may not even care about that when you learn about this chart. But it really shows that restriction in communication and karma with their career, karma with marriage, karma with the relationship. And anybody who comes in front of them, Saturn grabs them. So what happens? Whenever seventh house things occur, whether it's relationship, partnership, the person grabs the hold of the other person, like tight. Like the person just feels suffocated being around this person. Now look at Moon. Moon is in the 7th house in Gemini, in Punarvasu Nakshatra. And you gotta remember one thing with Moon. Moon is womb, okay? Moon is a womb. Anytime a planet is conjunct Moon or aspects Moon, it becomes impregnated with that planetary energy. And what is also the Moon? The mind. So because Moon is directly opposite to Saturn, it's being impregnated with Saturn. And of course, it causes a certain yoga, but I don't want to talk about the yogas and everything. I want to keep everything simple. So what happens is this person has to repeat actions in their life, especially when dealing with other people, because they feel that other people are not doing the just things that they're supposed to. In relationship, this person will have to repeat steps to make sure that Saturn's destruction is felt. They feel like they are the protector because Punarvasu is a nakshatra that makes a person feel that they have to protect something, protect someone. So that's happening. Then look at Jupiter, the ascendant lord. Sits in the 5th house. Okay. Great. Causes a Raj yoga. But again, like I said, I'm not going into yoga. I'm not going to go into the Vasa yoga, nothing like that. Jupiter is in the 5th house in Aries in nakshatra of Bharani. Now, I want you to observe, is this Jupiter a good Jupiter, a bad Jupiter? How is it? Is it a weak Jupiter? Well, how do we determine that? Well, we have to look at the dispositor of Jupiter. Who's the dispositor of Jupiter? Right here is Jupiter, and the dispositor is Mars in the 8th house with Rahu, debilitated, literally to its maximum, just past the maximum degree of debilitation in Shlesha Nakshatra. So Jupiter, the Lagna Lord, in the 5th house in Bharani, most definitely shows, because Jupiter aspects the Lagna itself, that this person has the capacity of Yama. They are all about, Yama is Dharamraj, meaning it's all about abiding by the laws, rules, regulation, policies. If you don't, Yama takes you away. And so, especially with Bharani, with Jupiter, sadness is expanded. See, you can have Moon in Bharani Nakshatra, and it's not going to be as frightful. Why is it that Jupiter in Bharani is doing certain things? Well, first of all, we saw the fact that Jupiter's dispositor is in the 8th house, meaning Jupiter's power is all about related to transformation, because Aries is the generator of Jupiter. It's feeding Jupiter what to do, and it's related to the 8th house. And then Bharani becomes the judge. Bharani brings fascination with death, near-death experiences. One wants to know, what is it like on the other side with death? But Bharani with the Jupiter gets expanded. And the problem with Jupiter and Bharani is, Moon in Bharani, like I said, is not so dangerous. Jupiter has a very fatalistic thinking. Has a very, what do you call, a very general-like thinking. It is the, what do you call them? Forgetting that word. You know, like I wouldn't say communist, is more like dictatorship quality. Jupiter has that, and especially in Aries, it becomes a general. And especially those who are my students in Magha Academy will understand why Jupiter is actually a general, not just a guru. So Bharani Nakshatra acts different with Jupiter versus Mars versus Moon. So here a person feels that if something is not right, I need to make sure that it must be done right. And because I have Jupiter in Bharani, I have this view of society. Why? Because Jupiter is environment, biology. So what are your environment? You feel this is how the environment needs to be. This is how the whole world needs to be. This is how you see the entire world through Jupiter. So we see that. And then Mars is in the 8th house with Rahu and Ashlesha with the aspect of Sun. Now, I've spoken about Ashlesha, how it's usually a very committed nakshatra. Ashlesha is a nakshatra of people who really want to be with one person and, of course, express their sexual fantasies on one person. They are the very mystical, very, hypnotic people. But Mars in Ashlesha with Rahu, forget Rahu being in Pushya, Mars is with Rahu. Mars is a sharp object, and Mars is a type of planet that pokes everyone. No matter if it's a friend or enemy, he will poke them with a spear. And Rahu is steroids. Rahu always gives bhog to whatever planet it sits with or aspects. It's with Rahu, it's giving bhog to Mars. Hey, you want help? Forget the spear. I got this, Skywalker sword. I got this Zelda sword you might want to use. It has magic in it. So it's not like these two are enemies. It's that Rahu actually gives the bhog. You want a better weapon? I got a better weapon. So because Mars is in the 8th house at its maximum debilitation point at Ashlesha, one, first of all, takes into action their unusual fantasies. Usually, I have seen Mars with Rahu in the 8th house in Ashlesha, or just in the sign of Libra. You usually can even make a person experience bisexual or even gay or lesbian relationships. But we're not talking about that. Okay? And Sun is being hit by Mars. And Sun is aspecting Mars. Sun and Mars are in opposition. The king and the soldier are in opposition, meaning whatever the king says, the soldier will do. And soldier is in the position to either destroy something or to transform something. And Sun is with Ketu, meaning the king has this idea about cutting things. Something doesn't work, just cut it out. And one wants to be this type of an individual who wants to attain different kingdoms, who feels like I have to attain everything that I step on. Because Sun is the king. And it's in the Sarama Nakshatra. And the thing is, especially Mercury is in the 3rd house in Satvishak. Mercury is information. Mercury is communication. And because 3rd house represents our efforts, one always puts their effort into spying into other people's information. They want to sneak. They want to be behind the veil and study the information, what is being spoken of. They're fascinated by that. And it becomes their passion because Venus aspects Mercury. Now, Venus is in the 9th house and Purva Falguni Nakshatra. Venus represents our zeal for love and relationship. So here, Venus receives the aspect of Mercury and Jupiter. And so here, a person is needing and craving for a higher type of lust and love. This Venus is actually not a bad Venus. It receives benefic aspect of 2 planets. So one wants to express their love to the other person, to the opposite sex. They want to like be in complete, passionate, love, lustful relationships. But the thing is, how are their actions? Venus is fine, but how are their actions? Their action is Mars. Mars says the action that I'm going to take towards Venus in communication and learning, it's going to be very manipulative. It's going to be very sneaky. I'm going to be like this serpent who gets what it needs and it needs to transform. If there's no transformation, I don't want anything to do with it. Okay. So this is, and then I can even go into the yogas and all that, but I want to keep it basic for people who just know about the chart itself. Okay, so you studied this chart. Now, this is not even the birth chart. This is a Dasamsa chart. This is a Dasamsa chart. Dasamsa chart becomes extremely important in any individual's life. Why? Because Dasamsha is our obligation to society. It's what we perform in society. And I think the dog agrees. I don't know why this dog is barking. Hold on, let me pause the video. Okay. So the thing is, the Dasamsa chart is the obligation to society we have. It's not just a chart of career. It's what's your obligation to society. So like I'm speaking with you right now, or if I met somebody when I'm at a grocery store, or if I go to fix my car, or if I talk to somebody at a conference, how am I behaving? Am I behaving like my birth chart? Or am I really bringing out my Dasamsha because I'm in society? I'm trying to deal with society. Society is full of strangers. Society is full of all kinds of people you deal with. Whether you're filling out some form at DMV for your driver's license, you're trying to get a visa somewhere. You're behaving like that. So Dasamsha is actually how we truly operate in society. And this is a chart of Ed Kemper, the serial murderer, rapist, or somebody who pretty much loved chopping up bodies and loved having all kinds of sexual fantasies with those bodies, with different body parts. Now, of course, why did I come across this? Because I've been watching Mindhunter on Netflix. And from there, I was so fascinated with it. I'm like, let me see if this person has time of birth available online in Astro Data Bank. So they did. And so my eyes, more than the birth chart, went to the Dasamsha, because that's where I really saw this person and who they are. And the way to easily do this, first of all, you can even use the technique of Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Which one is Dharma? Where is Dharma going? Is it in Moksha? Is it in Dharma? But also, you can, just from that chart, you can see where the Atmakarka is, who the Atmakarka is. But I didn't want to even use none of that. I'm just like you, somebody gave me this chart and I wanted to use this chart. So this is how beautiful Dasamsa chart is. Dasamsa chart is the obligation to society, is what we do in the world, is really shines. Everybody behaves more like their Dasamsha than even their birth chart. So I wanted to just give you a little taste. And of course, once we're done with Navamsha, planets through houses, I'm going to start with Dasamsha, planet through houses. So you get to understand what is Shani doing, what is Sun doing. Like Saturn gives absolute love for serving. One is a servant of society with Saturn in the ascendant. One feels like they're obligated to serve society somehow. But how are they serving society? Are they serving in a manner they're benefiting society, or are they serving society in a destructive way? That's what becomes important. That's the difference between light and dark and the gray area. Okay, so I'm actually looking forward to seeing your comments and see what you thought before you started, before I started this video and the description of the video. Okay, but pay attention to the Samsha. It's more than just a chart of career and promotions. And let me tell you also one thing about the Samsha. This is not telling you about career. Career, you can really detect that from birth and Navamsha itself. The Samsha shows the additional things. Like, okay, so you're an actor, right? And the birth chart will determine you're an actor. In the Samsha, it shows that the planet that represents your acting skills is, let's say, in Kritika Nakshatra, the constellations. That means, and let's say that that particular planet is in Kritika Nakshatra in the 12th house. What does that show? Well, in your career as an actor, you're going to have to cut relationships out, especially in a foreign place, foreign lands. You're going to have issues where you're going to cut permanent relationships. You're going to be all about cutting things out which do not work. But of course, different planet will do different things. Saturn has that 8th house Karka theme, so it just cuts things out. So this is how we try to understand, like, so whatever the birth chart is saying, it's the additional to that. And what is the environment in society that you're going to face? What is the environment that you're going to face? And what is the attitude that you're bringing in society? Okay. So hopefully you learned something beautiful. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And if you want to know what your Samsha chart is like, where your other planetary placements are, just check out the link in the description at astrologycares.com and the shop section. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.